So I think one could name at least three factors. One, I think, for very recent developments has been social media and the influence of influencers on social media. We have a current project where we recently asked ordinary German households why they are participating in the stock market, what are the key factors that influence that participation decision. And we were very surprised to see that 21% of participants mentioned social media as one of the top three factors. And in fact, 7% mentioned just social media as the only factor. So I think this has been one influence. The other one is online investment platforms that make it easier for households to answer the question, I want to hold stocks, what comes next? What's the next step? How do I do it? These platforms make it very easy, and they also allow you to do things gradually, sort of start small and then invest more. And I think also a third factor has been, robo-advice and the emergence of cheap exchange-traded funds that are easy to invest in, and they don't require a lot of money. In principle, these platforms can help because they are simple, they are there, they are accessible, they give you all the necessary instructions, so they really cut back on entry costs and knowing where to go to be able to trade or to invest, to trade, etc. However, it is quite important what the content of these platforms is and what type of behavior it encourages. So, for example, just to give you an example of one thing that's available on some platforms is the option to follow, to imitate the person who made the most money in the previous year, right? So there are so many things that are wrong with this. First of all, there is the suggestion that past returns guarantee future returns. Why should you be interested in the guy who made the most money last year if it doesn't mean anything much for next year? Second, it encourages herding, because if lots of people are doing this, then lots of people are following a particular person and doing the same things. So that's quite close to the definition of herding. And then the third thing is that these platforms, by making it easier to trade, can encourage overtrading. So there is for some people, we know that they truly enjoy pushing the button and trading. I mean, there has been, not my research, but a very interesting research from Finland that has found that the people who trade more frequently are also the people who are getting most traffic tickets. So it's the excitement, that drives them. So if it's also very easy to be pushing the button, then people may end up really hurting their wealth by paying lots of money in these transactions fees. So it's a mixed blessing, and one has to be careful. I have one paper which is called Financial Literacy Externalities, and a famous colleague, John Campbell, in the area of household finance from Harvard, read it and said this is the first paper he knows that is good for the social life of economists, because it tells people that it's good to be talking to economists and to people with business education. So what we found in that paper is that if you are put in an environment with a greater share of economics and business educated people around you, then in the longer run or the medium run, you end up being more likely to participate in the stock market and to save for retirement. So what is to make of this? Try to talk with people who have the knowledge. It's not just a matter of the level of education, because we actually found that being around educated people but in other areas doesn't have a similar effect. But try to find people in your environment who have had the economics or business education that's relevant. Try to learn from them. But another thing that we also found was that people who benefit are not only those who interact with the trained people, but also those who are educated themselves. So they know what to make of the advice that they are getting and of the information that they are getting. So investing in some financial knowledge and some financial literacy is actually important for people. And it's not something that you can do once, at the age of 20 and forget about it for the rest of your life, because things keep changing and you have to keep abreast of financial market developments. And of course, you also forget and you have to refresh your memory, etc. So it is important to have this combination of useful peer interactions and also own financial knowledge. And one other thing that came out of this current research with German households is that there seems to be a widespread view among households that if you enter the stock market or after you enter the stock market, you need to keep trading a lot, to keep monitoring everything, to keep, to spend a lot of time changing your portfolio and monitoring changes in the market. And that's not true. So this degree of active trading and active participation does not result in better financial outcomes and high returns. And it is, you can earn a lot and you can benefit a lot from passive ownership of well-diversified, globally diversified exchange-traded funds, for example, without you going in and out all the time. Mainstreaming, you live in Sweden, and Sweden is the country that I know with the highest stock market participation in the world. So this is a truly exceptional country, and very few come even close. I mean, there's Norway, and there is then the US, only about 53% of households participate in the stock market. But actually, there are other countries, practically all other countries, where less than half of households and much less than half of households participate. So we are not yet at the stage of worrying that too many participate, but certainly is this an objective that we should be pushing for, and what are the challenges, and what are good ways actually to participate. And I think an important thing is to be aware of the financial products that exist, to get advice from trusted financial advisors, trusted professionals. Unfortunately, the household finance literature and my research has shown that on average, financial advice doesn't actually increase, but it lowers risk-adjusted returns. But what we also know is that there's a lot of heterogeneity, a lot of variety in this financial advice. So there are some very good advisors and some very bad advisors. And we also know that the bad advisors who take advantage of their clients don't disappear from the market. That's not my research, but a very high-level research that was done in the US, that even people, advisors who are accused and convicted of financial misconduct, they end up getting hired by other firms. They don't disappear from the market. So be careful whom you ask. I have already mentioned, be careful about the peers that you ask and that you try to learn from, but be also careful, about the financial advisors that you visit. And of course, be extremely careful with social media influencers, because you have no idea what credentials these people have. They are not accountable in any way for the advice that they give, and they can create lots of misunderstandings and lots of bad trends and bad impressions. I want to say, because now it's AI is everywhere, and we have ChatGPT and Gemini and Grok and all sorts of these engines. And I know that people ask, have boyfriend-girlfriend problems, and they ask AI engines what to do about them. So I think lots of people will be tempted to ask those engines about where to invest as well and how to invest. And I want to say that we don't know this yet. We don't have research. I currently have a research project that's looking at that as well, comparing different types of advice, including AI advice. But what our preliminary findings are that these AI engines right now, at least, tend to tell you what you want to hear. So if you tell the engine that you want to have a lot of risk, then the engine will give you a recommendation to have a lot of risk. And if you tell it that maybe you don't like risk so much, it will go very much in that direction. Now, you may say financial advisors are also supposed, human financial advisors are supposed to respond to your preferences as well, and they do. But what we are finding in preliminary research yet is that AI tends to adjust even more and to cater much more to what you tell it to tell you than what a human advisor would. So be careful about that as well.